Hello dear students, how are you? Now we will start our lesson in grade 7, first lesson in grade 7. Let's move to see what in our picture. Here we have in our picture number of girls and the number of boys. Okay, could you tell me how many girls or boys in your class? For example, maybe 20 girls to 10 boys. We can say we have 20 girls in my class and 10 boys. Or maybe 15 girls and 20 boys. Yes. What happened here? We compared between the number of girls and the number of boys. This is the title of our lesson today. The comparison between two quantities is ratio, and our lesson today talk about ratio and proportion. Then the title of our lesson, ratio and proportion. Of our lesson, we will reach to our objectives. First, revise the ratio. Second, define the meaning of proportion. Third, solve the proportion. We want to revise what are the ratio. Ratio is method of comparing two quantities of the same kind. We can write the ratio by three ways: 3 to 4, or 3 over 4 as a fraction, or 3 to 4 in words. Look with me to these rectangles. At first, rectangle of Ahmed, he divided his rectangle into 3 equal parts and colored 2 parts. And Amal divided her rectangle into 6 equal parts and colored 4 parts of them. Look at the two identical rectangles. You note that we have the same colored area up and the same colored area down. Then the fraction which represents the colored area of Ahmed, 2 over 3, and the next fraction is 4 over 6, and they are the same value. They have the same colored parts, so they are equivalent fraction. What is the meaning of equivalent fraction? That they have the same value. 2 over 3 is represent the same area of 4 over 6. Okay, by mathematical, we can get 4 over 6 from 2 over 3 by what? Yes, by multiplying up and down by 2. 2 multiply 2 equals 4, and 3 multiply 2 equals 6. So we can get 4 over 6 from 2 over 3 by multiplying. Okay. We can also apply this property of equivalent fractions on a ratio. How we can do it? We can say 2 to 3 is the first ratio and 4 to 6 is the second ratio, and we can say 2 over 3 equivalent to the ratio 4 over 6. Okay, and this is the proportion. Equivalent ratios or equivalent fractions, we can equivalent ratios or equivalent fractions represent the proportion. Then here we learn a new concept is proportion. What is the meaning of proportion now? Proportion is an equality of at least 2 ratios or 2 rates. Yes, 2 ratios or 2 rates. What is the meaning of rates? What is the difference between ratios or rate? Ratios is the comparison between two quantities, but in the same kind, in the same quantity, okay, in the same unit. So 2 over 3 equal 4 over 6, but without unit. But here equality of two rates, that's the meaning of word rate. Rate means we compare between two quantities with different kinds or with different units. The first quantity 80 kilometer is quantity of length, and the second quantity 1 hour quantity of time, measure of time. Okay, and the second rate in the same units 160 kilometer and 2 hours or per 2 hours. This proportion between two rates, but here this proportion between two ratios in the same unit, so it's unitless at the end. But here we have equivalent of two rates. Rate is comparison between two different quantities. Okay, what else? Here we have cross multiplication property. For each of the following proportions, find the product of extremes and the product of means. What is the meaning of those words, extremes and means? The extremes are the first and fourth term in the proportion. Then so we have here four terms in proportion. First term and fourth term, they are extremes. Second term and third term are means. If we have 1 over 2 equivalent to 3 over 6, they are equivalent. Yes, why they are equivalent? Because the product of means equal to the product of extremes. Who are the extremes here? 1 and 6. 1 times 6, it's the product of extremes, equal 6. And the means here 2 times 3. The product of means equal 6 and the product of extremes equal 6. So they are proportional ratios. Okay? How we can use this property in mathematical problems? Let's move to the next slide to see how we can use this property to solve problems. At first, determine which of the following pairs of ratios represents a proportion. We have here 3 over 8 and 6 over 10. We have 3 over 8 and 6 over 10, and we want to say if they are proportional or not. At first, we can multiply 3 and 10, multiply the extremes, it equals 30. And the multiply means 8 multiply 6 equal 48. Then they aren't equal, so they aren't proportion. Okay? In the next one, ratios number 2, 8 over 10 equal and 12 over 15. If we multiply 8 multiply 15 equals 10, 120, and 10 multiply 12 equals 120. So we have the product of extremes equivalent or equal to the product of means, so they are proportional ratios. Yes, they are proportion, but here not proportion. Okay. The next question, identify which of the following ratio pairs represents a proportion or not. Right? Yes, 4 over 7, 12 over 21, we can multiply the extremes and means, then compare. 7 multiply 12 equals 84, and 4 multiply 21 equals 84. So they have the same values, so they are proportional ratios. In the next example, we have 6 over 10 and 10 over 25. The product of extremes, 6 multiply 25 equals 150, and the product of means, 10 multiply 10 equals 100. They aren't equivalent, or they aren't equal, so it's not proportional ratios. Solve each of the following proportion. We use the same property to solve a proportion. How we can do it? At first, in problem number 1, we want to get the missing value. We have here proportion already, 4 over 12 equal 20 over x, and they are proportional ratio, so find the missing value. To find this value, x equal, we will make cross multiplication. 20 multiply 12, product of means divided by 4. Okay, then x equal to 5 divided by 4 up and down. 5 multiply 12, then x equal 5 multiply 12 equal 60. Then the value of x to be equivalent or proportion ratios is 60. Okay, the next problem in the same method, we want to get the value of x. 4 over 7 equal x over 35. Then x equal the product of extremes, 4 multiply 35 over 7. By dividing up or down by 7 equal 1, divide 7 equal 5. So x will be 4 multiply 5 equals 20. So the value of x, which make ratios proportion, is 20. And here x minus 3 equals 3 multiply 8 divided by 12. Then by cross multiplication, 3 by 8 divided by 12, then equal 3, x minus 3 equal, divided by 3 down and up equal 4, here equal 1, divided by 4 down and up equals 1 and equal 2. So the result here, 1 multiply 2 divide 1 equal 2. So x minus 3 equals 2, x equal, move to the next side by inverse or by different sign, 2 plus 3, so x here will equal to 5. Okay, and in another one, 40 over 2x equal 5 over 7. Where is the missing value here? This is the missing value, so we do cross multiplication. 7 multiply 40 divided by 5. 2x equals 7 times 40 divided by 5. Okay, 2x equals, divided by 5 up and down, divided by 5 equals 1, divided by 5 equals 8, 7 times 8 divided by 1. 7 times 8 equal 56, over 1 equal 56. 2x equal 56. So x only equal 56 divided by 2 equals 56 divided by 2 equals 28. So we use the cross multiplication and the property of extreme product of means equal to the product of extremes to be proportion in solving proportion. Right till now? Let's move to the next problem. The next one here, graphical representation of proportion. The two tables below show the distance in kilometer covered by a car. At first, time in hours and distance in kilometer. 1 hour 70 kilometer takes 1 hour. 140 kilometer takes 2 hours. 210 kilometers take 3 hours. 280 kilometers take 4 hours. Okay, we represent this table in this shape. Number 1, or the horizontal line represent time in hours, and the vertical lines represents the distance in kilometers. Okay, we put here range from 0 to 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the vertical axis 70, 140, 210, 280, 350. We divided each of them into equal parts or equal scales, and here the same. Divide the timeline 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and distance 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. In each time we increase by 40, but here in each time we increase by 70. Okay, in this case we found that we can draw straight lines started from 0 and passing through all points in the table, but here we can't draw straight line path through all points. If we try to draw it, look here, if we started from 0 to get all lines, we can't, all points, we can't draw one straight line passing through all points on the table. Okay, if we try here, we can get these points, but it's not. Okay, right? So it's not proportion, or it's not representation of proportion. Then the proportion here can represented by straight line started from 0 and pass through all points of the table. Okay, but here we can't represent the points by straight line started from 0, so these ratios are not proportional, but these ratios are proportional. How we can plot the ratio or the proportion between ratios? At first, if the plotted point line on a straight line passing through the origin, then the relationship represents a proportion, as here in this shape or in this graph we have a straight line started from 0, or the origin point is 0 and 0. If the plotted points don't lie on a straight line, or they lie on a straight line that doesn't pass through the origin, then the relation doesn't represent the proportion. As we note in the first or in the previous slide, the second one, the second graph, we put points here, but we can't draw straight line start from origin point and pass through all points, so it's not represent proportional. But here it's proportional because it's start from origin point and passing through all points of ratios. now is the time of culture. A man reads 10 pages in 40 minutes. How much time in hours would it take her to read a book of 120 pages if she reads at the same rate? What does it mean, the same rate? The same rate means that we have proportional now, proportional ratios. How we can represent this problem in given and required? At first we have 10 pages in 40 minutes. First ratio, 10 pages to 40 minutes. 10 to 40. Okay? And second ratio, time x, number of pages, number of pages 120 and time x. We can write these ratios in another way. We can write 10 pages to 40 minutes, and how many hours to read 120 pages. Okay, so at here or here we can make cross multiplication to get the missing value, the number of hours. X equals the product of means 40 multiply 120 divided by 10 here or here. We have the same value. 40 multiply 120 divided by 10. Remove 0 with 0. 4 multiply 12 equal 48. Then she can read 480 pages. 480 minutes. 480 minutes. She can read 120 pages in 480 minutes. So she can read 120 pages in what hours? How we can get the number of hours? 480 divided by 60 to get the number of hours equals 8 hours. She can read 120 pages in 8 hours. Okay, so we can use the property of proportion here to get the missing number in this proportion. Who like to travel to the moon? Okay, the weight of a body of Earth is 90 Newton. We have body on the Earth is 90 Newtons. If its weight on the moon is 15 Newtons. What is the weight of another body on the moon if its weight on Earth is 60 Newtons? Okay, we write here Earth and here moon, and the weight on the Earth 90, the equivalent on the moon 15, and what is the weight of the body on the moon? Equivalent to 60 Newton in the Earth. So the proportion here 90 to 15 equal to 62x. So by cross multiplication we can get the value of x. X equals 60 multiply 15 divided by 90. equals divided by 15 equals 1 divided by 15. 60 divided by 15 equals 6. 60 divided by 6 equals 10. Okay, so 10 newtons. So the weight of the body on the moon is 10 newtons. Okay, now we reach to the end of our lesson, the summary or the conclusion of our lesson today. At first, what is the meaning of ratio? Ratio is comparison between two ratios, two quantities in the same kind. For example, 2 girls to 4 boys, or 3 red balls to 5 green balls. Okay, and we have proportion. The meaning of proportion or the definition of proportion: proportion is equivalent, is the meaning is equivalent or equality of two ratios or two rates. For example, we have 2 over 3 equivalent to 6 over 9. They are proportional. Okay, also we have 1 kilometer per 2 hours equivalent to 2 kilometer per 4 hours. Okay, both of them are proportion. Okay, we have here proportional between two rates and here proportional between two ratios. Okay, then the property of proportion here is the product of extremes equal to the product of means. So we can get the missing value from the property of proportion. If we have x over 3 equivalent to 5 over 15, so we can get x from 3 multiply 5 over 15, x equal 1. Okay, now we have finished our lesson today. I hope to good luck and interesting time. See you soon. Bye bye.